All right, all right. I think I'm live here. Cool. All right. We got to talk about Marvel, right? So, I'm give you a little background. I own a dispensary. I enjoy Marvel movies. I've been watching them really since they came out. I'm almost 30. I'm kind of their key demographic, right? So, yeah, man, this is just getting ridiculous. I just saw that the CEO was like, if you don't like my politics, then don't watch my movie. Well, that's the problem is that people don't go to movies for politics. When I watch a movie, and I'm sure this is pretty much everybody else too, they, um, yeah, you don't you don't go for politics. You go to release yourself from reality, right? Like to get sucked into that movie. And that's the problem that Marvel is doing is that they're just trying to push a fucking agenda that nobody wants. 10% of people maybe, but you had the lowest box office in history, right, of Marvel, 43 million dollars. They're trying to say, oh, it's a success, it's the biggest one. Sure, technically, because it's a Marvel movie and it's out, and there's nothing else that's out that's good. It's the best producing movie or number one movie. But if you're the number one piece of shit, you're still a piece of shit, and that's really what Marvel is doing. You did so good with Loki, right? Because it wasn't. I mean, you had your little bit of digs of politics in there that kind of pull you out of the experience, right? But then you don't really you don't really get the it's not one big woke thing. I forget what movie it was, but I watched one and I'm like, um, they had disabled people, trans people, women leaders, like everything that's woke, and I don't care. I mean, Wonder Woman was a phenomenal movie, right? But like you just push too much and it becomes distracting and it takes away from what a movie is supposed to be, right? A really good story that captivates the audience, keeps their attention, and doesn't really it lets them forget about the problems of the real world. That's why people go to the movies. You get your popcorn, you're sitting there next to a pretty girl or a pretty guy, right? And like you're enjoying that 2 hours of just not having to think about your real world problems. But Marvel, you just keep putting that shit on people. And that's why you're not making money. You were literally driving your company into the ground. You could have made that Marvel's movie much, much better, but you had to make it all female cast. You have to talk like, you sacrifice what's important to a movie for a political agenda. Like, I don't know if you're trying to destroy American culture or, what you're trying to do, but superhero movies have always been, um, something that everybody's liked, right? Like, pretty much everybody. Like, you got some action, you can have some romance, you can, and it does a really good job of captivating the audience. But somehow, your current leadership has fucked that, and it's like it's so tiring. It really is, and you can see Marvel fatigue, and like it just gets old, man. And I know, like, who the fuck am I to really be complaining about that? I am trying to just be a voice. I'm like what any good American with a camera and an opinion can do. I'm just getting on the internet. If nobody tells you this shit, and I don't know if you're evil and you know what you're doing, and so you're just like, we don't give a shit. But like if that or you're just in your own goddamn bubble, and I get it, right? I'm a multimillionaire, and it's sometimes it's hard to be grounded, and when everybody around you is yes men, you're like, oh cool, what I'm doing is cool. I'm telling you, nobody gives a shit. You have to consistently hide negative reviews. You pay, well, I don't know if you really do pay, but I don't know what these reviewers are smoking. Like these professional critics that review movies, they're absolutely dog shit. I don't know if you're paying them or they're on the payroll, but when you look at like what the consumer, the everyday consumer is saying about your content, it's garbage. It's literal fucking garbage. Um, and you just think, oh no, that all these people are just wrong, right? And you could see $43 million as a win. How much did you guys actually spend to make that money? Let me look here real quick. How much Marvel spend to make the Marvels? Great thing about the internet. Oh my God, you spent $220 million on a piece of fucking shit. Um, and let's talk about your marketing here too. I found out about the Marvels movie 3 days prior to it launching. I don't know if that's you guys cutting your budget, but I remember like Iron Man, it would be like 3 fucking months of just everywhere, everywhere in like posters, the movie theaters, ads on Facebook. Like, where are you spending this $100 million at for marketing? So it cost. Oh, so you've actually spent more than that. You spent 320 million goddamn dollars on a piece of shit movie that is just furthering your destruction. Like, go back and make more content like Loki. If you want to push your woke agenda, which is fine. Like, I have no problem with anybody. I'm a libertarian. I don't care what you do, just don't make me pay for it. That's all I ask. And with that, like you're shooting yourself in the foot. You have movies planned out to 2030. You think you're gonna make it to 2030 if you continue to have production like the Marvels, where it just fucking bombs? It wasn't even a good movie. And it's just because there's no real connection with these characters. You don't develop the characters, you just put them in the fucking role for woke politics. And it's dumb. Who wants to get behind Captain Marvel when she just, like the very first thing we see from her, she steals a dude's bike and, is a criminal. Like, there, where are the stories like Batman or Iron Man where like you had a struggle, right? Yeah, he was an egotistical prick who was really wealthy. Well, he had to face adversity to get to where he was. He was going to die, right? That's a story that we all can get behind, right? Because then he comes out and he's like, okay, cool. He's arrogant. I would be too if I had billions of fucking dollars. I don't have billions of dollars yet. But that's what I'm saying is that you guys, you don't put the money and the time and the effort into where it should go. Scripting, I remember that movie being just shit when it came to scripts. Like the dialogue, who's writing your dialogue? It's garbage. And I hate to say that because I really loved Marvel. And how can you turn around and have something so wonderful and so awesome as Loki season 2 and then turn around and put out bullshit like the Marvels? I don't care that it's all women led roles. I just have no connection to them. Like, there's nothing I can really get behind. I watched you see, that's the thing. I don't even remember the girl's name. Like, your characters aren't even memorable anymore. And it's just depressing because you're taking something from our childhood and you're fucking it up. That's why you see a big success coming out of like Generation V, The Boys, right? Because they've learned that they like that audience of who is really consuming a superhero movie and stuff like that is the people in their 30s. They're taking their kids to go see these movies, right? But ultimately, they're not going to go take their kids to see these shitty fucking movies if they feel like they're going to be bored for 2 hours. So I don't know. I would fire your entire leadership, like, and start over with somebody who's not fucking woke. And you want to push an agenda. I mean, Hollywood has always pushed an agenda, right? But they've done it where it hasn't sacrificed the content, right? Like it hasn't. You can still be drawn in. Um, what was it? Terminator is a good example. Sarah, whatever the fuck her name is, right? The lead, the woman, the mother, right? So she, was a strong woman. It worked, and she could be the main character of that movie, and it worked because nobody nobody really it wasn't pushing woke stuff. It was just a really strong story about a woman and just happened to be about a woman. Like nobody's sitting out here attacking you or attacking women saying, "Oh, well, it's stupid that there's an all woman cast." Like that's the bigotry. That's not majority of your fucking audience. When you just push in all that woke stuff, you dig at men. Who's the number one fucking consumer of superhero movies? Men. And I'm telling you, men don't care. Like they love seeing a hot woman on screen in a costume that's revealing, right? Like sex sells in any industry, you know. I've talked to a ton of my customers. My average customer is 21 to 28. That's the key demographic for cannabis, right? So very similar to yours. Yours is probably just a little bit higher. I wouldn't say 21. I would say probably 25 to 35. But I asked him about this movie. Everybody says that your movie is fucking shit in the Midwest, right? And so it's just depressing. And that's why I'm ranting here, is that I'm like, I'm hoping that maybe you see this video. I don't really think you will, but I also just, it feels good to let this shit out because it's just so frustrating. Imagine just like getting a brand new fucking puppy, right? Letting that puppy grow up to be 10 years old. And then all of a sudden, your parents just start beating the shit out of it all the goddamn time. How sad are you going to be? How angry are you going to be at your parents for something that you've loved and that you've grown up with? And you just fucking stomp on it and break its ribs and just destroy the nature of what it is. And you can have, like, nobody's trying to argue that you can't have women or disabled or any protected characteristic that you want, that woke agenda. The problem is that you're just doing it way too much that it becomes distracting and it's fucking annoying. And you sit there and you get angry at the screen because it's like, man, this was so good up until you just had to fuck it up and bring politics into entertainment. Stop it. That's all I'm asking. Fucking reevaluate, take this L, and you could try to spit it into a W. Right now, you're at $42 million that you've made back on this movie opening day. That's where you make most of your money back, right? And take that L and learn from it. That you're businessmen and women, right? That's what you do. You when you get knocked in the fucking chin and something doesn't work, you try something else. You don't keep pushing the same fucking stupid agenda because nobody wants that shit. So either you adapt and you realize what your base is and who it is, and you adapt to that, or you're not going to be around. You're just going to fucking make people hate Marvel even more. And so yeah, I hope you fucking figure your shit out because this is just getting old. And I'm excited for like the whole Kang saga, or maybe it's gonna be Doctor Doom. We don't know now. I swear to God, if you go down the Doctor Doom route, that's absolutely fucking stupid. Continue to develop the Kang route. Like you have a strong actor who can play a variety of different characters. He can play all those Kang characters if you let him, right? And I think that's what people want. Like, but yet you're over here just like, nah, it's not woke enough, so we're just gonna go figure something else out. We're gonna bring in Doctor Doom because this isn't working. Loki is probably your saving grace right now. Learn from that shit and learn from the disappointment that is the Marvels and this woke shit that you're doing. And you're like, well, that just makes you a right-wing bigot. No, nobody's a fucking right-wing bigot. That is just all you. That's just you trying to compensate for criticism. And I get it. Nobody wants to be attacked. I don't want to be attacked. If I get attacked, okay, cool. I'll take it on the fucking chin. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I don't think that I am. I when I look at all my friends and I look online and I see, just all the complaints about this shitty movie and then and the downward spiral that is Marvel currently. People had such great high hopes because of Loki, and then you just fucking shit on their face. It's insulting. Your customers are not fucking stupid. Your clientele knows, and they spend many hours consuming alternative YouTube content of, I don't know. I watch like 10 different react channels or like breakdown channels of your episodes, and that's partially because if you don't watch every fucking thing, I didn't watch WandaVision. It didn't seem to appeal to me. I'm like, you made this like like I'm watching a bunch of TV shows. No, that shit's dumb. You have such great characters and you have such great potential, and you're just pissing it away for politics. Get the politics out of movies. Get the politics, or make it more subversive so that motherfuckers can't see it, because everybody can see it, and it's very annoying. It's very agitating, and you're just going to continue to lose money. So Disney, get your shit together. I'm pretty confident that Walt Disney would be like turning over in his grave if he saw half the shit that you guys are doing. I mean, how could you do? I just don't understand it. Like, you just got the wrong fucking people. That's all it is. You can make masterpieces like the Book of Boba Fett and the Mandalorian, right? That shit's all really. I mean, there are definitely some woke moments in there, but you limit that, right? And so it makes those series really good. You can still push your stupid fucking agenda that nobody really gives a shit about, but just do it less. Don't make the whole movie, the whole premise, the whole plot line, all of the fucking script be about woke nonsense bullshit. People are tired of politics. They just want good entertainment. All right, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. So I hope you guys get your shit together and figure your shit out, because this is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, like, you got me, somebody who doesn't really give a shit to be on camera, coming and bitching to you and just basically pleading. Can we go back to like 2012 Marvel and stop with this post 2016 Marvel bullshit? Except for, you can keep Loki and the Mandalorian. I'll give you that. But all the movies that you're doing are just fucking trash. So hopefully you change it. Thank you.